this devotee joined or took Harinam Diksha from Srila Gurudeva in 2001. And I believe he does a lot of preaching in Nigeria itself. So I would like to introduce our god brother, Sriman Subal Sakha Prabhu from Nigeria.
Hare Krishna devotees, my humble obeisances to everyone, and particularly to His Holiness Ashram Maharaj, who has been the link between me and Gurudev. And he is very special to me. I owe a lot of gratitude to him for having connected me with Gurudev. At this point, I would love to say a thing or two in glorification of Gurudev. Even though I have not had the opportunity to meet him personally, I was initiated through a phone conversation with Gurudev, and the memory remains very fresh to date, even though it's been about 20 years now. In fact, I could hardly give any thought to it that it's been 20 years. To me, it was like yesterday. Just like yesterday, it was in the evening around 7:30, and the process was facilitated by His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Hasham Maharaj, and it was like I was not ready, but he made me ready by his mercy, so I went through. And honestly, before I will recount some of the experiences I've had subsequently, I would like to pay my due respect to Gurudev. Jai Hum Va Vishnum Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sriman. His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Maharaj Ki Jai. I want to also acknowledge Srila Prabhupada, through whose book I encountered the Hare Krishna movement. Foremost, all glories to His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I also would like to acknowledge His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaj for his role in my life as my Sesha Guru, and I still follow him, and by his instruction I am here today. To me, the quest for God is beyond the ISKCON and the politics surrounding Gaudiya Math and ISKCON. To me, this is the least significant thing in my thought as a devotee. I started devotional life way back 1989. I had contact with devotees, and since then, I have always interacted with devotees here from the ISKCON Forum. Even I could recall a long time back when Ashram Maharaj came into the country here in Nigeria for his father's burial, and through him, so much has happened to our devotional life here. It was the one through whose arrangement Gogovinda Swami Maharaj came to Nigeria, and through him, we've been blessed with a lot of other great devotees coming to give their mercy. So importantly, I would want to note that my devotional life, which started at about 1993, then I started chanting, and I was keeping all regulative principles, but still to me, I knew I was on the right platform. But it got to a point where my heart longed for some bit more, but I couldn't get any deeper. I just was like stagnating. And it seems to me my devotional life is always like a day or two issue. I am a very poor devotee, so I've not really advanced much. I keep praying to the mercy, for the mercy of Gurudev, that I may be able to advance properly in my devotional life. But I wouldn't mind stagnating, provided I can still continue to get the mercy of Sri Ashram Maharaj and Gurudev. That will suffice for my stagnation. But still, I'm making conscious effort here to daily see how I improve on my devotional life. After my initiation, the first sign of Gurudev's bona fide bearings, which dawned over me as a devotee, was that I realized my japa became more meaningful to me. It used to be meaningful, but I couldn't know how it could be more meaningful. But after my initiation, things seems to be making better sense to me in my devotional life. I desired so much more. I began to make that progress I had always desired. I desired to go to the Holy Dam, and I was able to fulfill that. And I desired a couple of things in my devotion life, and this all came to be. I particularly want to emphasize my japa. I used to chant. I will chant 20 rounds within an hour. How I did that, I never knew. But I was chanting within an hour, 20 rounds. I never knew how I was doing that. But you know how much I chant today within an hour? I could only chant 8 rounds. If it is more, then I have been cheating some way or the other. How I was doing it prior to that time, I never knew. And sincerely speaking, the taste was not as deep. And actually, it was like a mechanical process. But later on, I realized the depth with which I chanted was making things more meaningful to me, and it becomes a lot more difficult to unstable my peace of mind. Honestly, the holy name is real, and the holy name is the Lord himself dancing on our tongue, in our respective tongues when we chant the name. We should all take it a lot more seriously. Once on an Ekadashi day, I had a conversation with Sri Ashram Maharaj. He wasn't in Nigeria then. And I had a phone conversation with him. And he told me, you know, Subal, of all things you do, you could do some wonderful service in the temple. Of all the things you do, you could give some handsome donations. You know, for all the things you do, you could do a lot of wonderful service to many other devotees, and they are all appreciative of you. He said, but if you are not doing one thing right, then you're cheating yourself. If you are not chanting properly, then you're cheating yourself. This was like him speaking or talking to me at that moment, because at that moment I was getting too busy with work and I was doing a lot of traveling, and this was all affecting my time for my quiet time. So I decided that I will take my job more seriously. That particular day, I did 24 rounds. No, that was the first day I will be doing 36 rounds of job. I had to announce that to him on our following conversation, that after our speech the last time, I was so motivated. I did that particular day 36 rounds. How I did it, it was wonderful. It was all sweet all through. I was never bored. It was not like I was pushing myself, but I got it all done and I did it well. So that was one great proof when you have glorious association of pure devotees. Your devotional life, your devotional bearings become a lot more meaningful to you. And in this manner, I proceeded on my journey to the Holy Land, even though I never planned any, serious encounter. But when I got to Delhi, I had a friend. My friend used to be one of my colleagues here. We were working together in a multinational company here. So he left for India and he was insisting when I come to India, I should come to Delhi first so that I can see you before moving on. I never knew there was a big festival being organized by the community in Budh Vihar in Delhi. It's it's a Punjabi community. So they organized a very big uh, festival. The community there was so loving and friendly towards me. I never knew what my friend told them because we virtually sometimes live together by weekends when I would come to Lagos from my base in Ibadan then. So we were very close. So I never knew what he told them, but when I came, I was received like, one pure soul, and the love giving was so great. It was a Jagannath Ratha Yatra. And we went around and chanted, and it was a beautiful arena. At the end of the day, I realized every person that was instrumental to that event were all disciples of Gurudev. It was amazing. Every individual that was instrumental to that festival were all disciples of Gurudev. Not one ISKCON, not one disciple of any ISKCON guru in the whole setting. This was never, a thing that I thought of or they thought about. They thought I was an ISKCON devotee. So by the time I told them my Gurudev's name, then everybody started looking at everybody and it became known that, oh, he's a disciple of Gurudev. There they bought me a ticket to Calcutta and started making further arrangements for my movement to Mayapur, which was to be the following day. And it was all interesting all through my stay. Even as I got to Mayapur, I had two devotees took interest in supporting and assisting in my, perhaps volunteer to be like chaperone for me, take me to some sacred places, show me some things, tell me some things I needed to know, give me some brief about some gurus. And this was all interesting. I want to appreciate Gurudev for his kind mercy on me. And I also want to appreciate His Holiness, Sri Ashram Maharaj. And I want to appreciate all the devotees who have organized this beautiful forum for the glorification of Gurudev. And it's very interesting that we're celebrating Gurudev here today. I haven't been doing much here, I must be honest with you, to project the glories of Gurudev. I just know where to start from. Having been invited to speak at this forum, I got the clue where to start from, and that is by maintaining close association with my God brothers and sisters here, such that we can begin to devise programs that can keep us close to each other and continue to echo the glories of Gurudev. I will, at this point, want to round up on my talks, and I want to do so still giving all glories to Gurudev. So I will wish that somebody at some point, at some quarters, will take up this responsibility if it will not be a burden. And that is sending through a medium, Gurudev's lectures. And if, you know, a forum could be established that we pass on these lectures regularly. It doesn't have to be a daily affair. Even if 1 or 2 within a week, we in Africa and people in other parts of the world can still relish the mellow of the holy name through the pure tongue of Gurudev. And that is the beautiful thing that we could continue to share at this point as we celebrate Gurudev. So thank you very much for having me. All glories to Gurudev.
Well, thank you so much, Subal Sakha Prabhu. You're just so beautiful. And you know, there was one thing that you said in this, which was about Harinam and getting concentrating on Harinam. And there was something that Srila Bharati Maharaj used to say, and it was about, he was speaking about quality over quantity and expressing quality over quantity, and you expressed that, and that's exactly what Srila Gurudev wanted as well. And Srila Gurudev used to say that he would want, before preaching, he would want us to be a qualified disciple to show others. So it's very beautiful that you reminded us of that, and hopefully we can help you and support you in Nigeria as much as we can as well. So I'll get in contact with you later on and try and do our best to try and unite the sanghas up together. So thank you so much for helping us. Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Jai Gurudev.